Welcome to Untitled Traveler. Today we're going to talk about coffee. Coffee came from Ethiopia. The legend has it was found in an area called keffa. The person who discovered it is called kaldi. He was a shepherd. He realized his goats were very energetic after they have eaten these berries from this plant. So Kaldi decided to report his findings to the abbot of the nearby monastery. The monks in the monastery thought this plant was diabolic, so they put them on fire. While it was on fire, the coffee started roasting and started smelling heavily. They realized they have made a mistake, so they took out the fire and crushed the beans and put them in hot water for reservation. They drank this coffee afterwards and realized it was really good for late night prayers, since it kept them awake and energetic. And knowledge of the energizing berries began to spread. As the world moved east and coffee reached the Arabian Peninsula, it began a journey which would bring these beans across the globe. Coffee cultivation and trading began on the Arabian Peninsula by the 15th century. Coffee was being grown in the Yemeni district of Arabia. And by the 16th century, it was known Persia, Egypt, Syria, and in Turkey. Now that we know a little something about the discovery of coffee and where it comes from, let me tell you about Ethiopian coffee ceremony. Ethiopian's coffee ceremony is so beautiful. It's not just about drinking coffee, it's about the community. It's about sitting around with your family, friends, and talking about your day. So how we start our coffee ceremony is after we prepare everything we need, we start calling our neighbors. They will be the youngest who will be sent to call out all the neighbors and friends and whoever you want to invite for the coffee ceremony. After that, after everybody sits around, we start by washing the coffee beans and then roasting them.
ፈረንጆቹ ምንድነው የሚለው ቻይና ተነስቶ በቃ ሊደንስ በሱ በመንዙማ ቻይና ይደንሳል ተነስቶ
We have different way of roasting our coffee. This is one of them. We're using bret metad. You can also use mankashkasha.
የራሽያ ወይንትን መሪያ ሰማችሁትን ከራሽያ ተበለጠች ካዛክስታን አይደለች ሮማን ይባላል ሰው ኳሱ ሊጫወታሉ ሊጫወታሉ ኮሮና የለም ቦርካ ተጥቷል ያቤል
እውነቱን ነው
ቤላሩስ ተባለ
አዎ
እስካሁን ምንም ወደ 50 ሰው ኮታ ይዟል ችግር አይደለም ይለቃላል ቦርካ ያንዳንዱ ሰው ተጥቷል የሚገርም መሪ ነው በቃ ዓለም ህዝብ ጮህበት ምን አለው ኳሳል ተከለከለ ጓንታ ያለ
When the coffee is this brown and shiny and smoky, that's when we take it out. When we take it out, we use magafia like this if we are roasting our coffee in bret metad. But if we are using mankashkasha to roast our coffee, we move the mankashkasha around to make the people smell the smoke. The next step is we take the coffee beans while still smoking and move it around, starting from the older to the youngest, so they can smell and enjoy the aroma. After you get all your blessings, you move to the next task, that is grinding your coffee. Nowadays people use machines, but I personally like to use muqajja and zanazana. That's also traditionally what we use. So this wooden thing is called muqajja and the metal is zanazana, and then we just grind the coffee like this. So you just use all your power and just bang 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 to get your coffee powder. Be careful of your hand while you're doing this because you could hurt yourself. It happened to me twice and it was not fun. So until we wait for the coffee beans to be powder, we put some water in the pot. That we normally use pots that's made out of ceramic or clay. So we put the water in there and we leave it on the fire for the water to be boiled until we make the coffee powder. We continue to grind the coffee until we get the right texture. After your coffee powder is ready, we put it in the pot like this. You can also use a spoon, but I personally like this technique, which is also the traditional way of putting the coffee in the pot. The amount of powder you put in is dictated by how strong you want the coffee to be. After that, you shake the pot a little bit to mix it and put it back on the fire until it's ready. When your coffee is ready, you take it out and let it sit for a little bit. Our coffee ceremony normally has popcorn and some incense. The smell of the incense, the popcorn, and the roasted bean is the smell of a coffee ceremony. You can smell the Ethiopian home. Wherever the world you are, if you smell the smell, it just smells like home. Another thing that's part of it is yebuba kurs, which is, snacks that you put with your coffee. We normally put bread, popcorns, or dry fruit, which is kolo. And we give this to everyone that's in the room so they can enjoy it with their coffee. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, coffee ceremony for us is more than just drinking coffee. It's a time where we get together with our family and friends and talk about our day. What's the latest gossip? What's on the news? Or what's your future plan? Whatever it is, this is a place where you communicate with your friends and family. Ethiopian coffee ceremony could last from 1 up to 2 hours, depending on how good the conversation is. We serve 3 cups of coffee. The first one is called abol, the second one is called tonna, and the third one is called bereka. They all have different levels of strengths. The first one is the abol is very strong coffee, and then we put some water, put it back on the fire, and make the second one, which is tonna. And then the third one, we put a little bit more water and we boil it again, and that's called bereka. It all depends on how you want your coffee to be. At the end of the day, there are no rules. You can always put more coffee powder and make all 3 of your cups strong coffee. And then we give the coffee from the elder to the youngest, like everything else. And this is how Ethiopian coffee ceremony is. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new today about coffee and our Ethiopian coffee ceremony. I invite you to make this beautiful coffee ceremony. Enjoy it with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next video.